Hey, you. Thanks for tuning into the podcast. Be sure to subscribe to Layers to Love on your favorite podcast platform. Let's get into it. Let's just chat. So I'm not sleeping because I'm having hot flashes. And I will tell you guys, since you are a younger generation, no one prepares you about this. So you get the conversation of when you get your period, make sure that you're clean, make sure you change your pads, if a person has that conversation with you. My mom didn't have that conversation with me. When I got my period, I was 12 years old. And I was just like, I'm bleeding. And she was like, here. And she gave me a pad. There was no conversation with it. That's just how my mom was. I feel like we need to educate people of the change.
Menopause. You said they're going to put that in school?
No. I don't think that they should have, not in school, we should be open to have this conversation because no one has this conversation.
I do.
Well, you do. You beat me in the head about it. Everything is. Well, when you're going through menopause, Karen, I got a flat tire. When you're going through menopause, Karen, I burnt the broccoli. Well, when you're going through menopause, I get it. And I'm thankful that she's having this conversation with me because, like I said, no one has the conversation. So here it is. Let's just chat. Menopause. I am in perimenopause, okay?
What does that mean?
It's like the before you go into menopause. So
wow.
In
so
menopause,
sections to this and levels
there is sections to this. There is levels to this.
I don't want to get old.
There are people who have technically started doing this in their early 30s, and
you could be going through it.
And now
you do be
not right. Your mood, your change.
Perimenopause is a lot like your period. Only worse.
Well, no, I won't even say it's that because my period, like I wake up and it's a crime scene. I don't cramp. I don't do nothing. It's just bad. Boom.
What kind of
just bleeding.
That?
That's just how my cycle. That's just how my cycle is.
Heavy, okay.
I've always been heavy. Okay. I've been heavy for a minute. What I'm going through is right now I'm not sleeping. I'm having hot flashes that I'm waking up in the middle of the night. Last year, I went through this whole little funky thing with my period, but I didn't have my period for a while, and I was like, okay, it's starting. I went a couple of months, and then when it came on with a vengeance, and I had my period for like 3 months heavy. My hemoglobin dropped, and I had to have a procedure. So I had a DNC. Because they said I had like a thick lining. But when I had the consultation with the OB, she was just like, no, I don't think it's your change. It is your change. So
it's the peri.
It's the peri. That's what it is.
Do you remember when I was working at your spot? You said when it calls.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And remember I had to come home from work. That was 2012. So if I'm 58, I was 48. 47, 46. Right. So I was like 46, 47.
Wow.
And it was
back in 2012, you that old?
And it was
she went there.
It was I felt crazy. Are you feeling any of that?
I feel crazy.
You feel crazy?
My brain doesn't feel clear.
Are you sure?
It's like foggy.
I'm foggy. I don't know how to put stuff in the drive. I don't know how to put things. Listen.
That was before menopause, though. Don't blame me.
No, I was in menopause last week. I've been in menopause for since y'all showed me how to use
and
the
my
drive.
doctor told me I wasn't in menopause either, and she was wrong.
Yes,
so.
well,
what age does it start? That's what
it varies with each person. It just depends.
But is it like, okay, because when you get your cycle, most people have them between 11 and 17, right?
Yes.
Okay, so there's like a bracket, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Like what, 6 years?
So you're saying, what is that bracket for?
Right.
It depends because usually perimenopause should start like 46 to 50. And
well, they say it does not start 46
some people
to 50.
don't.
They're saying that people can start as early as 34.
Yeah, because the spacey, loopy, that sound like me right now.
Right. And
my cycle's fine.
And I started.
and that does not mean that your cycle stops.
No, it just means
From
you're
what they're
going through.
explaining, it means that you're going through your change.
The changing is starting. It's preparing itself to stop. And then remember, I would go a couple of months. It would be gone. Then I would go. It would come back with the vengeance, like going through my clothes. I would just be anywhere randomly. It would just come on. And then it would go away for 6 months and come back for a couple of months. Then it went away for like 8 months. And
That
it was
sounds
like
so inconsistent.
peekaboo. It was.
Right.
It was. And then when it was gone, my doctor finally admitted that I was in menopause. And she said, when it's gone for a year, then you're not in perimenopause, you're in menopause.
Then you're in menopause. So you
your
go through the
period
phase
has
and you go
paused.
Your period has exactly. So with along with
It's
the brain,
wonderful.
Y'all niggas 35 sound like.
It says the average age is between 45 and 55.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you got some time.
Yeah. Typically.
you got some typically, but everybody is different.
She acting perimenopause.
I mean, you talk about now this generation. There are kids who have their cycle at 9 years old. My daughter started her cycle at 9 years old. I started mine at 12. But I will say, you have the brain fog. You have trouble sleeping. You have weight gain, as Karen and I talk about. You have, it changes your scent in your body. I started using the Lume because I felt like I smelled, and I'm taking a shower all the time. And people are telling me, Kim, it's just you don't smell. So I'm not gonna use the word I smell. My scent changed, and it's not a foul scent, but I notice I don't smell like me. It's different. Yeah. It's different. So I do little things to kind of make it, because my body is just changing. Like my arm, now I will say my armpits are funky. My other parts of my body is not funky like that, but my armpits are funky. So I got the Lume. I have the unscented Lume. To me, when you first apply the Lume, it's like an odor blocker. Please take a bath before. Don't just use the Lume, because that's how she advertises it. Like, you don't have to take a bath. Just take a bath.
Put this under here. That's how she sounds.
Right. That's how she advertises it. But please take a bath. I put my Lume on, and I use the cream. I don't do the little deodorant stick. To me, that's kind of gross. But I do the cream, and I noticed that when I do my lotions and my perfumes, it stretches it. Take my $15 because it works. Like, honestly,
her advertisement just offends me sometimes.
Yeah, the advertisement is crazy for it, but the product is amazing. She's not sponsoring us. We're just saying what I brought out of my money when I went to Target. And I like it. I wanted to try it because, like I said, I just didn't feel fresh. And then I'm sweating. Like I'm waking up in the middle of the night. The bed is wet. And I'm just like, did I pee? Listen, I know this episode is TMI, but y'all couldn't get it because nobody warned me. I want to warn people. I want to warn you.
Nobody warned me.
Nobody warned you. Like, you just go through it. And then, like, for those of you who are not married, let's have the conversation. Like, it was bothering me there. I was kind of like struggling, in my celibacy because hormones. Your hormones and your body. Well, I'm trying to be tactful and not just say like I am. I was a woman because women are not supposed to feel that way. It's supposed to only be for men.
Well, I started probably around about, I would say, those 40s, and I was still married when it started, but I didn't know what was going on. And we used to sleep cuddled, and he would wake up. What is wrong with you? Get off. Because I was soaking wet.
And you don't know that you're hot. So the funny thing is, like, when you're hot, you just throw your leg out.
Yeah.
Just the kind of air conditioner. It's the best.
Yes.
Yeah.
One leg.
Just one leg. Yeah.
Just one leg. Just one leg to just air it out.
I do that now.
But one of the ways that I learned to deal with it was they try to give you hormones, but they're fake hormones. to try to balance your hormones. And so they sent me to, I can't think of the name of the place right now, where they did a hormone test. I had to spit and I don't know what else it was.
Yep, that's how they do it.
And then they came back and told me where I was deficient and what was too high. And they wanted to give me something called wild yam, but not the actual wild yam.
Like a supplement?
A synthetic form of.
Oh.
So you went to a holistic place or you went to the doctor?
I went to, it was a pharmacy.
Okay.
And I said, well, why can't I just get the wild yam herb and use that? And they looked at me like this.
Because they can't charge you for
like that was the dumbest thing they had ever heard.
They don't sell that there.
No. And she sat for a while like that. And I said to myself, like you said, she can't put that in a pill and sell it to me. So, because see, they can adjust how much of whatever it is in that pill, they can adjust it according to what your body needs. And when I said that, I mean, she was silent for a minute.
Right.
Like,
so I had a consult and I went for genetic testing, and I have a BRCA positive gene, which means that I carry a gene to catch a cancer. Mm-hmm. You don't know where it is. I recommend anyone to go get genetic testing. Push your doctor to do that. Now that I know my BRCA is positive, hormone therapy, absolutely not. Do not do that. It increases your risk of developing a cancer.
Sure does.
That's why you should know these things. And they push for hormone therapy.
Yep.
So with me, I just got to go through the change. It's better. Now I'm having a normal cycle. It's better, but I'm still ready to get to the end of it where when you get
to the other end, that part, the period part, will be gone, and that is a big part. That crazy. I'm not having the
mood swings up and down.
But what I still do have is a little bit of fog. But I think that contributes. That's coming from the fact that I'm not sleeping, and I sleep with the fan now. I still feel some flashing, but not like it was. It used to be all day long. I would just break out in cold sweats. That's what made me take that wig off. I used to wear a wig. I used to wear. Y'all knew I used to wear a wig, but a lot of people didn't know it was wig. They just thought I had a really good beautician, but no, it was a wig. And those flashes.
Come up out of that thing, huh, Karen?
I got rid of the wigs. I got, listen, I don't know, did you shave your head first or was it me? I think she did it first, and then one night, I thought about it. You know what, these wigs is hot. I would get off work, and you know, this was my routine. I would get off work, and I would be in the car, and I would reach in and snap, and then pull out one side, the bra, pull it out. And then I would take that wig, throw it on.
Listen, then you were coping with it, because I would have took the wig off first, then took the bra off. Like,
I never was big on bras.
Oh, gotcha.
So I got in the mirror one night. I had a glass of wine and music, and I shaved because I had hair, long hair, but nothing here. So I just shaved it all off. I went to Wally World, and nobody did like that. And when nobody did like that, I was like, okay, I could do this. And I ain't put another wig on.
I wanted to pause here briefly just to let you know that we'll be going a bit more in detail about our individual hair journeys in the next episode. So keep an eye out for that, and thank you so much for listening.
Because it's hot.
back to what we were saying about the perimenopause that I'm going through, it does alter my results in the gym. Your sleeping, your eating plays a key role to that. Shout out to my trainer because he's mindful of all of these things. I know one time I was bugging out. I was saying something to him about my stomach. I was like, my stomach is crazy and stuff like that. And he was like, you checked your hormones? Because he said that to me, a male. I made an appointment to be like, can you do a FSH and a LH to me?
Is that the only place that does it, the place that you went, or is that the only place you trust?
So I went to my GYN. I had an honest conversation with my GYN, and I was telling her what I was going through. And she
Is this the same chick you told me about?
Go see her. She did right by me. So when I got to the point where I was doing the bleeding, you know, she's had me set up with my oncologist. She has me set up with the heart doctor, because I'm going through all of these things. And at that moment, she's listening to me. Mm-hmm. She's listening to me. So she did right by me. That's why I referred you to her. As women of color, as women in general, no matter who you are, you have to be aggressive about your health.
Just like how y'all are hearing this information now, I met older women and I learned some stuff. I learned I don't have to go to him. No. And I don't have to go to her. I can choose who I want to choose. And if I don't feel comfortable, that's how come I kept giving the one lady that I go to now. I've been giving her my time because when I initially went to her in 2012, I was crazy, and she helped me. She listened to everything I said, and she didn't tell me no, you don't feel that.
I have homework to do.
Yes.
Menopause.
Right.
I'm going down the rabbit hole.
Go down the rabbit hole. Everyone's experience is different. Everyone's feelings is different. Have conversations. Have open conversations about this, because it's how do we skip this topic, Karen, in life? How do you bypass? Oh, you have your period. Don't let that boy touch you. You're gonna get pregnant. Oh, you had a baby. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, you old.
Well, I think
you
a lot of
skipped the whole chapter.
I think it's because it went from generation to generation of them just ignoring that part. Because my mother never told me nothing about the period. She never told me anything about childbirth. She never told me about menopause. And when I asked her, when I started going through it, I asked her how old she was. She didn't know what I was talking about.
Well, maybe she didn't know what she was talking about because she didn't go through it. Because with my mother just stopped. It just stopped. She didn't have no changes, no hot flash. You know how people are thin, and my mom didn't go through. My mother
had a hysterectomy when I was 13, so she never probably went through it.
Right. So she didn't go through it. Speaking of hysterectomy, let me tell you. So I'm having these feelings, and I'm having a conversation with people. You got this going on? No, girl, I had a hysterectomy. Oh, man. Yeah, and I'm hot. And you got this going on? No, man. I had a hysterectomy. Man.
I had a
What about you?
partial. I had a full.
I had a partial. I had a full. Boom. Then all of a sudden I fall on Karen. And I'm like, hey, I'm going through this. Girl,
let me tell you.
That's perimenopause. And she's been beating me in the head with it ever since.
And I got all my stuff. I got my
stuff
womb. I got my ovaries. I got my fallopian tubes. And I want to keep it.
We know what this stuff is, Karen.
Right.
I want it all.
She gave us a whole biology class.
I want all my stuff. All of it. I don't want to lose nothing.
Well, I don't know why. I just don't. Well, I can understand that. Well, with that being said, this is the podcast, and we traumatize the young ones.
I'm scared.
I'm
so scared.
45, 55, none of that.
But no, on the real, now y'all know that you need to do some research.
Yeah, I told you I'm going now.
And
I still got a little bit to go.
I feel like this. I'm gonna say this. I say this to everything. I believe my hormones are pretty decent right now because I don't put nobody else's hormones in my hormones.
She don't eat chicken. Go ahead.
That could be.
I don't think she does.
Yeah.
Not like that.
Yeah.
I don't.
She don't eat chicken.
That too, because that was an issue.
It does. That
she
is
don't,
it.
she
Yes,
don't eat chicken.
I don't eat chicken. I don't eat meat, and I'm not going to eat meat.
You are balanced.
Yeah.
Okay, this Let's Just Chat just took another turn. We went from one
another
conversation
to another.
conversation. This how we be talking, y'all.
So let's just chat.
So let's just chat.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, you. Thanks for tuning into the podcast. If you've been inspired by today's episode and want to hear more, be sure to subscribe to Layers to Love on your favorite podcast platform. Since we are in the early stages of Layers to Love, we would appreciate it if you would share the podcast with your friends and family. Just simply click the episode and send it, which can help us reach more listeners and build a supportive community. Until the next episode, take care.